Simon Pierre Laplace. He's a brilliant scientist, but atheistic. Now, atheists don't believe that there is any mind beyond the human mind. That's it. But he enunciated what is known as scientific determinism. That's a big word. Don't worry, I'll tell you what it is. He said that if there is an intellect, I don't know why he uses the word intellect, but he says intellect. If there is an intellect that knows everything, then that intellect can tell you not just the past, but also the future. Scientific determinism. In other words, if there is an intellect that knows every atom in this cup, and every property of every atom, and every law that governs every atom in this cup, then for that intellect, he can tell you where these atoms were 100 years ago. And he can tell you where this will be 100 years from now. Because he knows all the details of everything. In other words, he is omniscient. That's the word, right? So an omniscient intellect can tell you the future. So if you find, and he's already stated it, if you find a writing in which boldly states what will happen 100 years, what will happen 500 years, and some of them is 1,000 years. It says there, somebody will say, I thirst. And for that thirsty person, people will give him vinegar. 1,000 years before it happened. So when you look at a string of them, then you say, oh, is that mind that is giving us that message, that omniscient mind? There are hundreds of prophecies that have been fulfilled. 322 about Jesus. 24 came to pass in just one weekend. If you look at Stoner, a guy, he did a statistical study on that, and he looked at just 48 prophecies being fulfilled by one man. You know what the chances are for that to happen? You will need, let me just tell it to you, you will need 1 followed by 32 zeros, that many consecutive universes, not worlds. Our universe is about 15 billion, 13.72 billion years. You will need 1 followed by 32 zeros, that many universes, until you find one guy who will do 48, not 300, 48. So what we are discussing here, we are discussing a test that the Bible itself says you can test it. And you and I can test it, like he said, you can test it. It's not what's written in the Bible. You can test it by what the Bible says is a test that you and I can do it. And if you do it, here it is. And when you see it, you should give the credit where credit is due. So when I look at it and I give it that credit, there's nothing circular. It's a straightforward, powerful claim. And once the claim is made, you can test the claim, and the claim passes.